Are we live? Are we live? Let's see here. Oh, we are live. Look at that. 10 o'clock on the dot. Here we
Nice.
go. Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow workshop. I'm your host Nelson. Thank you for being here with me this week and every week. I want to say thank you to everyone in the live chat. You guys have been here since 8:30, or 9 o'clock, and so thank you for being early. Let me say hi to, let's see here, who was first? Fern, welcome. Rodrigo is new, so thank you so much for joining us. Riley, who else is here? Webflame, always here. Thank you so much. Alexandra, Nita, Juraj is new, so welcome. Laurent, welcome back. And Ironwood, that's about it so far. Oh yeah, Sean and Blaze. Yeah, Blaze was here last week. Thank you so much, Blaze, for Blaze and Riley. You guys did so well in last week's stream for the live design challenge. That was super fun. If you guys haven't seen the live design challenge from last week's workshop, check it out. We had Marius, Riley, and Blaze battling out who can build the fastest things. We did a bouncing ball, a beating heart, and then the actual Tesla.com homepage. Who can build those as fast as they can? And so check it out. For this week's workshop, we have a special guest. And before I introduce the special guest, just reminding you guys about the formats of these workshops. So every month we'll have a special guest, a live design challenge, a live open forum where you can just ask anything for the whole hour, and then a community spotlight. So speaking of community spotlight, if you want to get on the mic on the hot seat and promote whatever you're doing or show off any new tips or tricks that you've learned on Webflow, please send me a private message on the forum. That's forum.webflow.com, and let me know so I can put you on the stream and promote you. With all that said, our special guest this week is a product designer for withcoach.com. He's also an illustrator, and you can see some of his resources, and he wants to help you out if you want to become an illustrator as well at chicohq.com. And also, he's a vlogger, and he wants you to watch him practice at watchmepractice.co. And I think he has an upcoming stream or something like that soon. But all right, without further ado, hello, Mackenzie Child.
Hello, everybody. How's it
Hello.
going?
Thank you so much for joining us. There's a lot of people who are very excited to see you on the stream, and I know
Excited to
you
be here.
have. I know you have a lot of subscribers, and so I mean, uh, thank you for giving some of your time to us.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So, just want to learn more about you because I think our community is still unfamiliar with you, and I want to know more about your career. And I know that a lot of people have this started the same way, found
hmm
this creative bug, but after that, we go in so many different ways, but we're still kind of in the same path, you know. And so I'm
hmm
just wondering, how did you first get started into design?
So I got started way back in the day. When I was like 15, a friend of mine put a bootlegged copy of Photoshop on my computer,
Hmm.
and I started playing with that and ended up really, really loving it. And then I was a broke teenager, so I think about 2 or 3 weeks later, I posted an ad on Craigslist for graphic design and ended up getting my first few jobs doing that. Um, and then a couple of years later, after doing like random jobs here and there, I ended up going to the Art Institute of
Oh,
Colorado.
okay.
Got a associate's degree in graphic design, and then yeah, just kind of been that was the initial start at least.
So putting it's always hard to get a client out of Craigslist. I've tried that myself, was never successful. Uh,
The
I hear.
first few did not end up paying me, so
Okay.
Craigslist isn't the best.
So you've quickly learned as a
Yeah.
teenager, you've quickly learned what it feels like to be in that freelancing game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. So it takes from there as a teenager and then going into the art institute. The art institute is quite expensive. So
Yeah.
what was that point? Like you said, okay, you know what? I really want to jump into this. I want to go all in on this career. I'm gonna go to art institute. Like, what made you want to do that?
I just really enjoyed it. I was doing like I had odd jobs. Like I was a one of those door-to-door people who like sell stuff and a canvasser, and I did like uh, I was a server as well. But all those jobs I did like web stuff or design stuff on the side, and I really, really enjoyed it because it was just like a creative outlet. And then I was kind of being like encouraged by my parents to go to college of some sort. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll just do this. This seems fun.
And thankfully, I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually ended up, the big reason I ended up going to the Art Institute is because I won a scholarship for
Oh.
some of my work that I did um, previous to that. So that was a big encouragement to go there.
Was it a
And
like a art piece or something that you did?
yeah, they have, well, I'm not sure if they still do it, but every year they used to do a contest where you just like submitted like some of your previous work and then you created a new piece like based on certain criteria. And I just entered that and I ended up getting second place um, and won like a $20,000 scholarship to towards the school. And I was like, okay, this is
This might
pretty
be a
cool.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
$20,000. Yeah, that might be a sign, a very big sign that says maybe you should become a graphic designer. So you started as a designer,
Hmm.
but I went on your YouTube channel and saw your first video. It's from September 7th, 2014, and it was
Hmm.
actually for something on Ruby on Rails.
Yeah. So my YouTube career did not really, I didn't have any intention of being like a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the initial starting point was I was like, I want to learn Ruby on Rails because like at that point, like I designed all these web pages, but they kind of just stayed on my hard drive. Like I wanted to see them exist in the real world, but I didn't know any developers, and I also didn't have any money to like hire people to help me like build stuff. So I was like, the only way I can do this is to do it myself. Um, so I heard one of the best ways to learn is by teaching it because like in order to teach, you have to like understand it on like the foundational stuff of it to you have to understand all that well enough to be able to explain it simply to another person. So it's like, okay, um, I came up with the idea to do 12 web apps in 12 weeks. And then I was like, to keep myself accountable, I'll just put it on, make a video, I'll put it on YouTube. And then everything kind of just took off from there.
I so I think we've skipped over a large chunk of your experience because we went from graphic designer to Ruby on Rails. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
every graphic designer I've met so far is scared of code. My wife's a
Hmm.
graphic designer, and it was hard for me to explain to her CSS and HTML. And so the thing that scared her about it was the fact that everything is responsive. You never know what kind of canvas size you're ever
Hmm.
designing for. And I think that middle chunk of HTML and CSS, what made you finally try to learn that since you've been mostly a designer?
Yeah, so I did skip over a big chunk. So in either shortly before or shortly after, I can't remember exactly when, I started a blog called Artist Inspire Artist, where I would just post like inspirational artwork that I found for like fashion design or web design or really anything. Um, and it was through, well, that was one part. So it was through that I wanted to like do tweaks and stuff. So I needed to like figure out how to do that. And then part two of me like learning how to code was I started doing some design work, web design stuff, and every time I pass it off to one of the developers, it would come back with like spacing issues, and like it was
Yeah.
pixel perfect in my design, and
Yeah.
then it came back all a little bit butchered.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to like do it myself, so I could like control all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started like messing around with like basic tutorials and stuff. And some of my first web design stuff was through a program called Rapid Weaver. Like I bought themes, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's basically one of those like drag and drop, like no coding things. And I actually did several websites for clients using that. But at one point, I reached like as far as I could go with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I yeah, I kind of just slowly picked up the front end stuff over the years. And then that brings us to
Ruby on
2014. Yeah,
Yeah, Ruby
when
on
I was
Rails.
like, I wanted to turn artists inspire artists into something much bigger, where I could have like users and like have people post their own stuff.
Hmm.
I never actually ended up building that, but that
Oh,
was the starting point for
yeah,
me learning how to code and all that.
yeah. Wow. Well, okay. Congrats to you, because there's not a lot of designers, graphic designers, who want to jump into code, and
Hmm.
it seems like you kind of gradually got into it using a drag and drop tool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
And then I would do like little tweaks. I remember I discovered what a BR tag was, and I was like amazed. I was like, holy, I'm not sure if I can
It's
guess.
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I can just like create a little line right here. And yeah, I think it was on MySpace. It's the first time I actually wrote a line of code.
Nice, nice, nice. Everyone has their starting point.
Yeah.
MySpace, I think some what was it Zanga or something was back then. I started with GeoCities. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm old. Okay, so what? But anyways, um, yeah. So now so you started a YouTube channel there, and what made you so you wanted to show everyone how you're learning, and is that why you started your own YouTube channel?
Yeah, it was really just a way to keep myself both accountable and to like maybe try to help people in the process. I honestly believe nobody would watch the videos. Like I was blown away when the view count started growing, and I was like, wow, this is insane. And that kind of encouraged me to keep going. Honestly, I probably would have quit midway through my challenge because it was very, very tough trying to build and record a screencast every week, or
Mm-hmm.
build an app and record it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
But
I
we
had people like looking forward to the next video, so I was like, ooh, I can't
so
not
people
do it.
so people were actively leaving comments or trying to reach out to you saying, "Hey, keep going," and
Hmm.
that was your motivation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the community does that for you, and yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so that's awesome. So now you're doing the same thing with watchmepractice.co, correct?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just an effort to deliberately practice mainly illustrations. I'll probably end up doing like some UI design and product design stuff on there as well. But
Hmm.
my main goal focus with that right now is illustrations,
Okay.
because I don't feel super great or super confident in doing that just yet. But yeah, it's just through the practice and repetition. So I was like, I'm gonna just do this live and have people watch me and keep me accountable.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it keeps you focused because people are watching and people want to learn. So
Hmm.
it's a great way to keep yourself motivated. So you went from server, Craigslist, freelancer to uh, college student and YouTuber and with Coach.com. But throughout that whole career, not everything is rainbows.
Hmm.
And I don't think not getting paid during your teenage years was one of your lowest points. But what I always like to ask all my guests is, what has been one of your lowest points in your career, and what did you do to get yourself out of that low point?
Um, so last year, 2016, I decided to do a course on design called Design for Developers. And I started work on that and I was like hyping it up for months through my YouTube channel. And I started selling pre-orders for it. And it came down to uh, like hours before I was supposed to launch. And I didn't have, like, I completely underestimated the amount of work it was to like uh, create a course.
Yeah.
Um, and I did not launch in time. And uh, yeah, that was not tough, or that was not good. I actually made a video on it. If you Google like I messed up Mackenzie Child on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
you can probably find it. But yeah, that was not fun because I let like a lot of people down. Like I told everyone I was going to do this. I only gave myself like 2 weeks to actually create all the content.
Whoa.
I was like, that'll be plenty of time to do all this, but that was a very, very stupid decision. Um, Luckily, though, like I was just honest about it. I told everyone I just like completely underestimated it, and some people were unhappy, asked for refunds and stuff, which was perfectly acceptable and understandable. But surprisingly, a lot of people were super understanding about it, and I was able to like just kind of push myself through it and keep going, and ended up finishing and launching it a few months later.
Oh, so you kept going. Nice.
Yeah, it was a struggle after that point, but
Yeah.
I finally made it through.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you have a very supportive community to help you keep going,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's
Me too.
it's tough when you're handling someone else's money. It
Yeah, yeah.
it puts more stress and anxiety when you have a
Hmm.
due date, and
Yeah, it's just I felt terrible. Like uh, I honestly wanted to quit YouTube, just kind of like shut down my channel, go into my little hole, and never see the light again. But I'm glad I didn't do that.
yeah, and in going through that stress, it made you feel stronger, right? Because now you understand who your real friends are, your real supporters, and
Hmm.
now you're doing even bigger things.
Yeah, yeah. And I definitely learned quite a bit in that process. Yeah, I am glad I went through it. It was terrible at the time. I felt like the biggest asshole in the world, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was a good learning experience for sure.
Yeah, as with everything, and you, I always believe in this. You gotta, you gotta find a low point, and those stresses that you get from those low points, when you overcome them, you become even stronger, and you learn from it, and you move on, and yeah, it's you don't quit, and you'll find something better.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah. So, I if you have for the live chat, if you have any questions for Mackenzie, let me know right now in the live chat. And I know that one of the questions I saw before we started was, will we see a special appearance by Chico?
I can go grab him if you guys want, but
Okay,
he's in the other room. You
if
want me
you
to go grab
want,
him?
while we're waiting for questions, yeah, if you
All
want.
right, I'll be
All
right
right,
back.
cool. So there you go. He's fine. He's getting Chico right now. And if anyone has any questions for Mackenzie, put it in the live chat right now. But yeah, some inspiring stories. Yeah, never give up on your projects. If you fail, just like Mackenzie, you admit to failure and um, apologize and you move on because you have a lot of people supporting you, and they want to see you succeed. And here we go. There's
Chico himself.
he is all right.
He's grumpy. I just woke him up.
Oh, like why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Webflame is asking, is Chico actually blue too?
He's like a bluish gray color,
All right.
much more gray.
And you've just completed Riley Jones's day. So there you go. Many
Nice.
people like cats on the internet. I don't know. I'm more towards dogs, but then again, I'm allergic to cats. So
That's understandable.
yeah.
I am, if you can't tell by all my branding and stuff over the past few months, completely obsessed with cats. This one in particular.
Of course, of course. I love all the different costumes you put on that character. It's really cool. And so, um, is is that cat your inspiration for all of your projects? Because this seems like you like to use Chico for a lot of things.
Yeah, lately, yeah. Um, he's the whole inspiration for my new site. I'm gonna brand Chico HQ. It's gonna be a place for like teaching and resources and stuff for designers, but
Nice.
I'm gonna brand it all through him. Like
Make sure
well,
that he approves, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. He's the actual creative director of that project. Yeah. Um, yeah. If while we're waiting for questions, can you tell me a little bit more about withcoach.com?
Yeah, for sure. So Coach is a platform where you can create online courses and sell digital products like ebooks or templates or PDFs or whatever. Um, and I actually got connected with them through my Design for Developers course. I ended up using their platform to host Design for Developers. And then I started talking with Spencer, the CEO, and we ended up working together, doing some contract work, and then we came aboard full time in November of last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a super cool platform because like you can do like the products, like the digital products and courses, but you can also like create landing pages so you can like test your ideas out and like send email newsletters to like grow your audience and keep them engaged and all that. So it's kind of like a all-in-one platform. It's pretty cool.
Nice, nice. And was this site built in Webflow or something else?
So I have been using, so I'm the designer there. I've been using Webflow to prototype,
Mm-hmm.
um, but we are using uh, they ended up like recoding it so we can use like the current framework and stuff they got going.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's built on Rails, the back end.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
so you know a little bit about that now. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that work, but I could definitely find my find my way through, which is very handy.
Cool. All right, we got a question from 42 Papyrus. Hey, Mackenzie, what specifically prompted your I'm sold on Webflow video?
Yes. The realization that Webflow is amazing. So I saw Webflow like a couple years ago, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and I kind of just brushed it off because I was like, if I'm gonna code, like in order to be a coder, like I have to know all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of brushed it off and kept doing what I was doing. But then I realized like it's a really, really powerful tool that like will let me focus on what I'm really good at, which is design. And I can, so my end goal for all my projects is just to share my stuff like online.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I have to like build a site. So if that's the end goal, I realized like I can do it so much faster and easier with Webflow, and that will allow me to like focus more on like the thought and or the thought process behind it and like the design side of things. Um, but yeah, I just realized like I'm gonna be able to do a lot of cool stuff by using Webflow and letting that do the majority of the work, and I can
Mhm.
focus on the rest of the stuff
Nice, nice.
instead of trying to do everything myself, which I've tried to do time and time again, and that usually doesn't end up well.
But now you're doing everything yourself.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
but it's much easier.
Yeah. Are you using the CMS in Webflow?
I am for watchmepractice.co.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I haven't used Webflow too much. I've only been using it for like a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm really liking it so
Well,
far.
glad you found it, and thanks for making the video. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you first saw it, you said like I brushed it off because I feel like I need to learn the code. And do you feel that a lot of people are still saying that that they need to hand code everything in order to actually actually create a great site?
Um, I think the hardcore coders think that still. Um, and I have always like encouraged designers to learn how to code because like it helps you think through the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you understand like what you're designing for and how it's going to be implemented, then you can like make smarter design decisions along the way. Um, and I always thought like you needed to do that in order to like understand that, but like I don't think that anymore. Like my thinking's completely switched, to be honest.
Nice, nice. Well, welcome to the community. Here you go. Riley's asking, did you ever see yourself getting into more educational content, or is it something more of a recent aspiration?
Oh, I never thought I would teach anything, to be honest. When I started my YouTube channel, I kind of just did it, like I said, to keep myself accountable. Um, and then I kind of realized, hey, this is pretty cool, and I enjoy doing it. And not only that, but like the opportunities that teaching has provided me, because like I got my job because of my audience and stuff. Like showing that you know what you're doing through teaching it is a great way to show like employers that you know what you're doing.
Ooh,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I never actually thought I would teach, but um, yeah, I don't think I'll stop.
I like that note. Showing by example to future employers or future freelance clients. Hey, I actually know what I'm doing, and here's proof. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so that connects. I did a stream in the past talking about how to build your portfolio, and one of the things I said was always keep your sketches, always show off your actual progress to get a project from sketch to live, so that way you have a running log of what you've done. And so showing all of that process can show future clients, hey, I actually know what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
here's proof of it, rather than just saying, oh, here's my end product.
Yeah.
Hopefully you hire me, or hopefully I can get your project done. So yeah,
Well, I think everybody should teach, to be honest. Like it's a win for everybody. Like it helps people in the community. It helps you understand like what you're talking about, even on a deeper level. And I know one of the arguments is like, why would I teach something when like someone can just go off and do it on their own? Um, but the opposite is actually true. Like when you teach, it like shows them that you know what they're doing, and they may not want to do it on their own or have time or any of that. So they'll ask you to do that for them, based on the fact that like you've proved yourself. You know?
yeah, yeah, it is a win for everyone. Sean is asking, do you ever have the battle that we have where you have to create designs that not only work visually but can be handed off to devs in a code environment? Any advice to overcome this obstacle?
Let's see. Do you have a battle? Well, I have been using Webflow for that. Like, even though the code wasn't going to be used for Coach,
Mm-hmm.
like having a prototype that they can like click and actually like steal code from if they need to.
Mm-hmm.
It was all recreated, but like they could actually like see the hover effects and like see how it all worked, and
Yeah.
it just helps them visualize everything, and that just made the end product a lot stronger, I think. Instead of just like passing off a static like sketch file,
Yeah.
being able to like click and move around and navigate through stuff is um, a lot stronger, I think.
Peter is asking, I want to know, I want to ask, what's your methods to stay motivated? And I think one of them is your YouTube community. But
Yeah.
besides that, is there any other motivation?
Um, I think for me, just trying to follow my curiosity is what motivates me. Just being curious about stuff and like trying it and seeing where it goes without like any expectations is a good way to go about it.
Yeah, experiment every day.
Yeah,
You'll learn something. Yeah.
because you never know what's gonna come. Like I never expected my YouTube channel to grow into what it has. Um, it was something I just kind of tried and did, and then yeah,
Cool, cool. For everyone in the chat room, if you well, Mackenzie, can you stay for the second half of the stream?
yeah, for sure.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time. So everyone, if you have any other questions for Mackenzie, or if you have any questions about web design or Webflow, ask them now. If you have a project that you're working on Webflow, go ahead and put it on the chat room. Only webflow.io links. Now, I think last week the reason why the stream cut off early is because there was like a lot of interactions happening in that one site that we looked at, and then all of a sudden my PC just well, my browser crashed, and
Oh no.
I don't have the latest and greatest PC. I don't have a gamer PC. You know, I play Rocket League on the lowest graphic settings, and it makes me fine with that. But I just get enough of power to stream. So if it cuts off because you have a lot of interactions happening on your site, I'm sorry for ending the stream early. But yeah, I don't know why that happened. It crashed my browser. It disconnected my internet, and I was like, okay,
Oh no.
what just happened? But I rebooted and everything was fine. But at the same time, my wife was working and her internet never cut off. So I'm like, what?
Hmm. I
So yeah,
know. Do you use Chrome? Because I know Chrome can like suck up a lot of power.
probably it's Chrome because streaming takes up a lot of power as well.
Google Hangouts too, that like
Oh
can
really?
slow things down. Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay. So there we go. Lessons learned. But yeah, go ahead and put your links there, and we'll review your site. Uh, yeah, live on the stream and just see what you're doing. But Sean says Chrome is a mega CPU sucker. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
I am learning this. I'm learning this. But yeah, last week, Sean, or sorry, last week, Mackenzie, it was really cool because we were streaming three people's screens over Google Hangouts and just watching them build in real time
Yeah,
Webflow
that's
things. So the
awesome.
first one was a bouncing ball, and just seeing what they did with that. And then the second one was a beating heart. But the last one was really cool. Recreate in 15 minutes. It was kind of like those quick fire challenges in those cooking
Uh-huh.
shows. It was like you only get 15 minutes to build the Tesla homepage. It didn't have to be responsive, but like they did it in 15 minutes, and it like
That's awesome.
blew my mind. Um, so let's see here. Virtually everywhere saying, is this casual chit chat? Well, a little bit, but this is the second half of the stream virtually. So watch the replay to see the more in depth interview with Mackenzie. But yeah, let's see here. Passport Viole. Okay, so let's see. Again, if the stream cuts out, I am sorry, but here we go.
Good
Uh,
to go.
all right. So let me put the. Actually, you have the link too, right?
Mhm.
Mackenzie, it's in the chat room. All right. It's the .webflow.io. Okay. Cool. All right. Do you prefer English? Yes. I like that little call out. It's not really. It's not really in your face, but you kind of get there. Man, this is nice. Mackenzie, how do you feel about angled rows?
I like them. It adds a bit of uniqueness compared to the standard cutoff at the end.
I do too. It's different and
I think someone who does a really good job of that is Stripe.com.
oh yes, when
Their
they
site's incredible,
oh
but
yeah it is
pretty much everything's like horizontal.
yeah um the email button at the top right I f- Should it be at the top right, or should it be like a Google Material Design where it's a floating action button on the bottom right?
Yeah, I think I'd probably move it to the bottom because it's in terms of like visual hierarchy, it's probably not the most important thing.
Yeah,
Um, I would say the logo nav, and then the sailing and motorboat lessons would be like the main stuff.
yeah, agreed. That's cool. Well, great job. I really like it. So the only thing is, if you can, actually, you have a video here. You have a video here that's playing. What if, what if the video was a video background in your hero row
That'd be pretty cool.
instead of just the seagulls? Because the seagulls don't, or is that birds? um, yeah, they don't really explain what the site is about, and it doesn't explain the H1 sailing and motorboat lessons, but you see birds.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah,
Having a yeah, I think having a boat or something in the background would visually connect the two
yeah. If you're not gonna have
a
a,
bit more.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it would visually connect to a bit more than the seagulls, I think.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. All right, great job, Lawrence. Love it, love it. So just those two little things, I love your spacing. I love the cards you have. Then you have testimonials. Very nice, very nice. Keep it up. All right. Luke, I'm teaching myself web design and built the site using Webflow. Um, Luke, send your webflow.io link, not your domain name. Okay, just to make sure I know you're using Webflow. Let's see here. Question from Sean: how do you feel about pastel colors? Do you see them trending in 2017? I know a lot of people think they will be huge in 2017. Yeah, what do you think?
Um, I don't know if it will be like a trend, but like I'm personally going big on them. Like I love the very soft pastel colors. I've been playing around with the Chico design and
Mm-hmm.
or Chico HQ. Um, I can actually show that if you guys
Yeah,
want.
if you want to share your screen, go for it. Or
Let
if
me.
you have a link.
It's just in Sketch right now.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, let me share my screen. One sec.
yeah, go for it. While we're waiting, let me go to one more URL. Harold is saying not very fancy, but some of interactions. Oh, wait, here we go.
All right, so this
Cool.
is very much a work in progress still, but yeah, you can see the overall color scheme was based on the Chico blue, but the pastel colors that I'm using throughout, I think accompany it very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I'm gonna go with the overall color scheme and such for the whole site.
Nice, nice. So Chico blue, is that like Tiffany blue? You're gonna buy your own color?
Probably not, but
That always, whenever my wife reminds me that Tiffany bought a color, I'm like, how do you even buy a color? That is crazy.
I remember talking with this guy who worked at this print shop,
Mm-hmm.
and he said they were doing some work for Coca-Cola, and they like were insanely strict on the red that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it wasn't perfect, like they had to like do it over and over until they got it right.
Yeah.
But it's like this very, very specific shade. And I never realized like how intense those big brands are about like their specific colors.
Branding is
Yeah.
a big thing. Okay, so Harold, he has interactions on it, so let's see. All right, going to it. It's halbinger.webflow.io. Let's see what you're working on. Cool. Okay. Yeah, see, the hero row explains. See, I don't even know how to read this. This is not my native language, and so I already know what this is all about because the hero row with the imagery is telling me this. It's about either building or architecture. And wow, these houses are nice.
Yeah, they're pretty fancy.
Man, very modern. Oh, okay. And then sticky nav. Whoa! Scroll down and look at what happens to the nav bar.
Nice.
I
It's cool
That's
little
new
animation.
to me. I like that.
Hmm.
Where you show everything because there's not much content on the hero row, but when you scroll down, there becomes more content, and that's when you gotta put everything back into a drawer.
Yeah, it makes sense because you don't need to see that as you're scrolling, but you still have access to it. I think it's nice.
Only one thing I would suggest is this menu button should have a cursor of the hand because right now it's just a text selector, but I can still click it and then interaction happens. But this is cool. That's a new idea on me. Great job. Nice cards. Yeah. Wow. I I got nothing else to say about it. How about you, Mackenzie?
Yeah, it's looking really nice. I do dig the interaction there.
I'm just gonna play with that nav bar. All right, great job, Harold. Moving on. Let's see here. Blaze is working on a small e-commerce using Shopify buttons. Okay, here we go. So, did you know that you can do e-commerce on Webflow?
You can.
Yeah.
Wait,
Uh,
what do you mean exactly?
oh, okay. So, Webflow doesn't have native e-commerce, but you
Hmm.
can integrate a third party like Shopify, Gumroad, PayPal, or FoxyCart um, into
For
your
Coach?
Webflow. Oh, does Coach have some sort of code snippet that you can put on a site?
Very, very soon.
Oh,
That's one of the next things we're launching.
nice, nice. So if you didn't know, there's a thing called dynamic embeds where you can get
Yeah.
variables. Oh, so you know about that one?
No, I thought you were talking about the custom code.
Oh yeah. So dynamic embeds, custom code. You can put it into your Webflow CMS site, and then pull data into the code using what we call dynamic embeds. So
Interesting.
that's how you can actually put e-commerce into Webflow.
Is there a tutorial on that
Oh yeah,
somewhere? Because I would
yeah.
love to check that out.
Yeah, just the help center. It's help.webflow.com, and it's under dynamic embeds. So it's pretty cool. We did a stream about it, and it's not only like e-commerce, but you can also pull in like SoundCloud. So if it has an ID, like a product ID or some sort of
Uh,
ID, you can put that into your Webflow collection and then pull it into your custom code.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super powerful because that's something like I used WordPress for. That's why I'm so excited I found Webflow because I use WordPress for everything. And now with the Webflow CMS, I can pretty much do all the same stuff I did before um, in like half the time.
Yep, that's the whole point. Streamline everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So here we go with Blaze's work. Okay, so I don't know how to say it. Le. I'm gonna ruin it with no accent. Le Ponchos Francis. Oh God. Okay. Anyways,
This is really nice looking.
yeah.
Super
It
clean.
very nice. Okay, as I scroll down, the cards down here with the ponchos, nice designs. I would totally rock those dots. I would. I would rock the dots. All right, here we go. I love boxes overlaying boxes. I see this trend happening more and more. Do you,
Hmm.
Mackenzie?
Yeah, a great example of that is Plasso.co
Lasso?
or .com. Plasso.com.
Plasso.com?
Yeah. If you like go to like their membership product, they like have it like slide up as you scroll down.
Oh, yeah.
They do a very, very nice job of that.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that now. It's, if you think about it, it's the same type of structure that we've always been doing left, right, but
Hmm.
in a different uh, effect.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's go back to Blaze's project. Yeah, really nice. Uh, wait, did that just fade in? Huh. Instagram fading in. Really cool. I got nothing to say about this. I mean, it's
I
perfect.
don't either. Yeah, it's really well done.
Great job. All right. Let's get two more links. I'm gonna go Snape class by Sirhad. Snape class. What does this say? 90%, 95% free ebooks and courses all around the net. Nice. Free stuff. I like free stuff. Neon green.
I've been seeing green like this used quite a bit lately. I wonder if that's green's becoming like a very vibrant green's becoming like a trend.
Maybe it's because of Seattle Seahawks. I don't know. Yeah, my local football team left our city, and now I'm like, who should I root for? And then I saw the Seattle Seahawks jerseys. I'm like, I guess I'll root for them because it looks cool. I'm such a bad sports person.
Oh,
But
I know nothing about sports.
yay, put the ball in the area where it needs to go. Yeah, I like the hovers and oh man, it just seems very pleasing
Mhm.
and very clean. I have nothing to say about this.
The one thing I would say is that the hovers seem slightly harsh. It's a very small thing,
Oh, okay.
but other than that, it's very well done.
So you're talking about ebooks, courses, and book lists at the top?
Yeah, I just think it's um, I don't know, maybe that's personal preference on my end. I just like to see it a little bit softer, so it doesn't look like it's the default. Like when you click um, box shadow in or drop shadow in like Photoshop or something, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little harsh. I usually prefer a bit softer, but again, that's just a personal preference.
Yep. Great job, Sirhad. Okay. Last link by Ba. It's AJ Tax Services. And we get this green again.
Yeah.
Interesting. Many people use this. Okay, so this is still a work in progress. It seems nothing's really clickable. Oh, I clicked on about, so yeah, it goes somewhere. But let me go back to home. Um, okay, so when it comes to these call out colors, I feel like the green is telling me to click on everything, and I don't know where to start reading.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What would you say about what do you think could help this homepage?
I'd probably stick with the green just for the calls to action, like the button. I probably wouldn't have two call to actions. So we have the free tax calculator and then the contacts. So it's probably best just to like tell the user you want them to do one or the other. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that. I would leave the tax calculator green, and then the. I mean, well, you got to ask your client though. What's the main goal of the whole site? Is it for
yeah.
people to use the free tax calculator, or is it for them to contact them? You
Hmm.
know, so you got to figure out what your client wants, and then with that in mind, because they can't have both. You can't tell a person who comes to the site saying, "Hey, do both at the same time."
Yeah.
It's one
You
or the other.
could break it up, just have like the reliable neighborhood urban tax, like the title,
Mm-hmm.
like big and bold, like in its own section, and then the contact in its own section down below. So like
Yeah.
two separate blocks, just to like visually separate them a bit.
All right. Good job so far, Ba. Just keep working on it. All right. So let me take a question now. Before the stream, Jiraj was asking about this, and I want to get to it. So Nelson, any advice when it comes to using Webflow in different browsers? Websites look quite not right and mixed up. So yeah, when it comes to different browsers, Webflow has the framework to make sites look the same across all different modern browsers and all different modern devices. Now, as with everything, it's not going to be perfect, but we do our darndest to make sure that the framework code and the code that's rendered once you press publish works everywhere. Now, when it comes to older browsers like Internet Explorer, we do not support that because not even Microsoft supports IE 10 now. So, IE.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know that.
So when it comes to older browsers, you can't really build for that. But if you want to, then you're going to have to export your code out of Webflow and then fix everything. Because if your client says, no, it has to work on Internet Explorer 6, well, you got to research and educate your clients to say, hey, the reason why Internet Explorer is not supported is because of these security issues, and it's better to use Microsoft Edge, and why most people are doing it. And then you look at stats everywhere just to see how many people are actually using each browser, and you'll see that Firefox and Chrome are at the top, and as far as Safari and Microsoft Edge. So do your research, educate your client, and yeah, we'll do our best to keep the code super clean and cross-browser compliant. Do you ever get those clients that want Internet Explorer compatibility, Mackenzie?
I used to, but I probably wouldn't take on a project like that today. That's just no fun in any way.
I remember a long time ago there was a news story about agency in, I think, Australia. They actually charged an extra fee to make the site Internet Explorer compatible.
Yeah, just charge double, then they'll probably say no.
Exactly, yeah.
Get yourself out of it.
And if they want to pay it, well, good luck on you. I hope you learned something, but it's, backwards compatibility. It's too hard. And
well, I think it depends on the audience you're building the site for. I'm sure the majority of clients, if you look at the web traffic, it's probably less than a percentage of the traffic actually uses IE. I don't think it's that big anymore, but you could have a older generation who only uses that, or a corporate company who is forced to use that. Yeah. So there's obviously some instances where you probably can't get around it.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that some people are learning is that Internet Explorer does not support Flexbox, and Flexbox is the new, easier way to design sites. Mackenzie, have you played with Flexbox yet?
Yeah, I have a little bit. It is something I need to I think I'm having a tough time wrapping or going from CSS to Flexbox, because it's a different way to think. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely dive more into it because I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, once you start figuring it out,
the
life of no floats is so liberating. You can do so much with Flexbox. I mean, I'm doing a site right now where it's all Flexbox, and I look at the design. I take a big look over the overall picture, and I'm like, this cannot happen without Flexbox. I mean, the fact that you can, when it stretches into mobile and you can reorder your...
That is super cool, for sure.
Yeah. That is
awesome.
awesome.
The hacks I used to do to get around that before.
Yeah. Yes. Ben Reformed is asking, does Webflow use Flexbox? So yes, we were just talking about it. So you can You can go to flexbox.webflow.com to see more information about it. So yeah, it's towards the end of the hour. Mackenzie, thank you so much for being here. Tell people more information about you or where they can find you, and how they can babysit Chico.
Yeah, so you can find me pretty much on all the social stuff. My username's Mackenzie Child on all of them. YouTube and Twitter is where I'm most active, but my personal website's mackenziechild.me if you want to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And check out Chico HQ because that's in the works and should be out probably in the next month or so. Pretty excited about that.
Okay, I saw your wireframe this morning.
Yeah,
Congrats!
yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, just let us know how you're doing with that. Are you going to be using Webflow for that?
Yes, I'm gonna do the CMS. I was gonna use WordPress for it, but not anymore. Using the Webflow CM.
Chico agrees. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to clip that right there.
Do it.
Right. All right. So yeah, I'm very excited to see the progress of that. And hopefully you'll stream it or something. I would really love
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna be doing videos on it, on the progress and stuff, talking about it on my YouTube channel. So you can check that out.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna do my usual sign off. So yeah. So if you have any account billing or technical issues, please email support@webflow.com and reply back as soon as possible. If you have any design or custom code issues, please post that on the forums at forum.webflow.com. And just like Mackenzie said, learn by teaching. And so if someone
Yeah.
helps you learn something in Webflow on the forums, please pass that forward and teach someone else the same thing if they have a similar question. If you want to hit up us on Twitter, it's at Webflow app or myself at the Pixel Geek. We're on Facebook on facebook.com/Webflow. We stream this live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Next week, I think it's going to be a live open forum. I'm going to double check. And I am still looking for someone to be on the hot seat for the community spotlight for this month. So please let me know. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and if you're new to Webflow, every Wednesday now at 10 a.m., I'm doing a live webinar on Crowdcast. So look for more information
Nice.
about that on the forum. So that's just all intro. It's just for Webflow newbies. And yeah, other than that, again, thank you so much, Mackenzie, for your
Yeah.
time.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. And thank you to Chico for supporting us.
Yeah.
I will see your streams, and everyone else should watch his streams too. Just go find Mackenzie Child on YouTube, and have a great day, everyone. Make the web beautiful.
Bye, everybody.